Yeah, Frank here has got his own billiard room.
Yes, it's what do you call it, Kramer?
Billiard room.
No, not billiard, not the billiards. It was
Billiards room.
Come on already. Come on, we call it the
place to be.
The place to be. Yes, the place to be.
Then I shall be there.
Now, it's time. Live and in living color.
The Grandy Man can.
Time to play the game.
Well, you always left me satisfied and smiling, so.
That's what she said.
Why do I want this? I want to make bank, bro. I want to get ass. I want to drive a Range Rover.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is now time for the Place to Be Podcast. And now your hosts, Justin Rosero and Scott Criscolo.
Very nice, Mr. Crisbolo.
Place to Be Nation, welcome to another outstanding and long overdue episode of the Place to Be Podcast. I am your co-host, Scott Criscolo. And joining me, as always, is a guy who doesn't know the difference now between December to Dismember 2006 and a diaper of poo, although they really do go hand in hand. The sleep-deprived has watched things from all 24 hours of the day, and Place to Be Nation's newest papa, my PIC, Justin Rosero.
What's going on? I feel weird batting second. It's like when they switched Johnny Damon and Derek Jeter before 2009.
I was hoping I didn't hear any in the background.
No, I'm good to go. I've been looking forward to this once we decided we were going to try and do tonight.
Yes.
I was looking forward to this all week long to get back in the saddle here, and I hope we surprise you guys with this little extra episode. The reason we didn't reach out for you to do anything special like Asshole of the Week or anything like that was we just weren't sure when we were going to be recording this and if it was going to work out. So for the next couple of weeks until we get back in the groove, we probably will put that stuff on hold, and we hope to obviously get into the vaults. But we'll talk about that more later in the show. So why don't we get started, Scott? Let's fire things right up.
Yeah, let's dive right in. We'll do our normal stuff. We'll go over Raw. We'll go over Smackdown since it already happened, and not often that happens. But it actually already happened. Got a little some WrestleMania news. We can go back and I believe a match has been added and some other things as well. And then we have a very long, nice news and notes segment brought to you by our good friends at WrestleChat.net. And then we'll chat a bit at the end. Talk to you, sir, about your past 7 days and all the excitement surrounding it. So let's jump right in. It's almost like an express episode. This is like the easy pass lane of the Place to Be podcast.
Yes.
But with plenty of information. Okay. We'll do it in reverse with Monday Night Raw. I like what we did last week where you threw a thing at me and I kind of commented. I'll do it in reverse. I'll let you sit back and let your wheel spin this week.
Okay.
Of course, Raw began from the Rose Garden in Portland.
And I did get to watch the show, so I am in the groove.
Yes, excellent. All right. For the third time in 2 weeks, we had yet another CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan champion versus champion match.
P.S. Your cunt is in the sink.
And he was, as usual, hands-on.
It's been too long since I've heard that.
I know. Too long since you heard a lot of things. You might pull everything out of the chest of exciting audio action tonight. Third time in 2 weeks. I know that you said that doesn't bother you, but I'm starting to learn something now. What do you think about this? Notice, yes, the matches are happening a lot, but not once have we had a clear winner.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. I like, and obviously you're talking about Daniel Bryan and CM Punk.
Yes, yep.
And I know there's been some back and forth debate, mainly in our nation, about whether it's a good idea to keep rolling this out there. And I say it's a match that may sell some pay-per-views that people look forward to, but I don't think it's a big money-drawing match by any means. So I think it's not like Hogan and Goldberg or something like that, or Austin and Lesnar, where you don't want to give this away on free TV. I think the more you give this away, the more of an audience you may build. So I am fine running these two guys out there. I have full faith that they're going to go out and put on a good match every time. And as long as you're not giving away clean finishes and burying guys, I think you are setting up for a challenge down the road, perhaps, or a big pay-per-view match down the road. So, the fans are into it. The two guys are going to deliver. And I compare it to like Triple H and Rock back in like 98 and 99. Those two guys fought a ton, and it didn't hurt their drawing in 2000. So,
nope.
I don't see a problem with it, honestly.
Okay. Now, right before the match, we had our first actual interaction between Punk and Jericho. What did you think of it?
I thought it was great, and I actually want to do a little poll at the end of the 6 major talkers on the show, who you thought came across the best, but I really dug the back and forth. I thought it felt real for the first time. I felt like we actually had a legitimate point behind things by both guys. I thought they delivered well. I thought this is what we needed all along. And to me, this is the best Jericho's been since he returned. This is the strongest he looked, and we finally got reasons behind his coming back and his motives and everything else. And instead of all the dog and pony show we've had over the last couple months, he finally delivered his purpose.
And Punk, I think, went right back at him.
Oh, yeah.
Which made it even better. I mean, they're both legitimate. And Punk pretty much said, you do know that the whole world thinks this match is going to be the best of the night.
Right.
And it's our job to make it so. And, I am going to walk out the champion. And it's good that at least the two of them are acknowledging work rate-wise, we are the anchors of this show. They pretty much said it.
Right.
And it's the truth. I can't unless the two of them just don't show up, which is not going to happen. It probably will be. So.
And I like that it's not only based around the title or anything else. It's based on which of the two is better. Punk has said he's the best of the world. Jericho says, no, I'm the original best of the world. You're just a copy. You're just jocking my style. And I think that really adds to the legitimacy of this match. This is two guys trying to prove that they're the best in the industry.
Right. Now, at the end of the Punk-Bryan match, we had some more jockeying between our man there, Marty Funkhauser, and, of course, Teddy Long, the head of SmackDown. Do you like where this is going so far? This is where I don't think any other feud that Laurinaitis would have with anybody would give justice to his ability to just be a complete pain in the ass.
Right.
I've thoroughly enjoyed him being like a crazed, nerdy lunatic with his faction of cronies and Teddy's calling him a horse's ass. I don't know. I've enjoyed the interaction between them.
It's funny because I felt like it came out of nowhere, but it feels right, even though it just kind of came out of like because we were dealing with Ace and Punk for so long, and now all of a sudden that's kind of gone, and he's feuding with Teddy. That kind of came out of left field, but I'm still curious of what way they're going with this. Are they going to do the 8-man that we've heard about, and are those two guys going to be on the teams? Are they just going to be in the corner and they fight afterwards, or are the team? It seems like they're heading to a match between those two, but I can't see that happening at Mania unless they're on the teams with their other guys. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. Maybe it's a 5-on-5 match. I'm still having a hard time figuring out who would be the 5 Teddy guys. I mean, the Raw guys, or I guess not even all Raw guys, but the Laurinaitis guys are clear: Christian, Mark Henry, Otunga, Del Rio, and then Ace himself.
Right.
And on SmackDown, besides Orton, maybe, and Santino, I'm having a hard time coming up with anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is because it's the babyface team. Maybe
Ali,
they bring
maybe?
in. Yeah, maybe they bring in legends. Maybe, God forbid, Duggan or somebody of that nature. Somebody to fill the team out in some capacity. Yeah. I mean, not at least we don't have to worry about some crazy, awesome legend. It could be some, nobody or something, some mid-level guy, Slaughter or something. All those guys.
It's interesting to see where they go. I was thinking. I don't know if I saw this somewhere or I just thought of it myself, but I honestly don't remember it. The week has been kind of a blur, but
yeah.
If they had Simmons playing off the old Doom ties, and since he's going to the Hall of Fame, you could stick him on the team.
I think that'd be a great idea. Yeah. I think that'd be a fantastic idea. And Andy's going to the Hall, so I think I like that idea. Let's keep that.
I don't do any tricks.
If you really think that Teddy's going to hire you, Sunshine,
he's waiting for the call. He's been waiting.
What's he going to do? The Sin Cara entrance where he'll jump in with with his trampoline through the.
I mean, speaking of Sin Cara or even Rey Mysterio, if those guys are due back and they want to put them in a low risk match, that's a spot one of them could be in as well. Maybe Rey playing off his Del Rio and Christian Heat as well.
Yeah, well, we actually have a Ray story later on.
So, okay, well, interesting.
Pertaining to that.
So another week where I know nothing of the news, so I'm excited for you to spring it on me.
I'm stoked. It took me a long time. I mean, the list is incredible, so I think you'll like it. All right, then we had Kelly and one of the Bellas, and that was not a big deal. In fact, Beth Phoenix was supposed to be on the show, and she said she wrestled in the Superstars taping. Okay. And we have a comment from her later, too. Cena took on The Miz. Cena won. And he sees Rock walking around.
Wow, match, and... Yeah. I don't know if you have this in the news, but the directive about how they're supposed to go easy with Cena. Do you have that
I did not have that in there.
Okay, I have a
couple of Cena stories.
Okay, there was some news that came out. I think it was on Monday that Vince gave a directive to everyone to be very careful overall, but very careful with Cena. And
we don't give a shit if the other guys get hurt. Just don't hurt him.
Well, I mean, that's obviously the big money match. You can't.
Yeah,
but my argument is, why the fuck are you wasting him in matches with the Miz, especially if they're going to be painful, bland matches, which this was to me. It was like a right out of an 80s house show. It was just kind of there. So I don't know why they're even bothering, just not having him be on the mic, and don't even put him in the ring if you're so worried about it.
Yeah. exactly. So he looks up at the screen. Rock's doing does the "you can't see me," and then fades up to black or something. I don't know. Next up, the 6-man tag. Primo and Epico, nice win, right? It's good to see them.
I like Primo and Epico. I saw some kvetching in the chat because I know some of our nation members aren't really big fans of them, but yeah, as long as you put them over strong and give them some TV time and some wins, I think any team is fine. You know, they can work. I don't think they're that bad, and I think Rosa adds a lot of flavor, obviously, to the team. So I was fine with it here. I didn't really want to see Dolph and Swagger win because I think Dolph needs to be doing things on his own. And I like Swagger, but I just think they can be in a stable, but I don't think they should be tag champs. Right. And Truth and Kofi, I don't know if they're going to have them fight for the titles at WrestleMania, if there's room for that on the card. I don't know. But it seems like maybe they're going to be positioned for the next tag champions.
Right, we'll see. We had a...
Oh, then Kane came out, that's right. And
Kane came out and cleaned them out, cleaned everybody out. Yeah.
Back to 97.
Exactly. God, I hope we don't have matches where he's wrestling under red lights.
Where does he fit in Mania? That'll be interesting too.
I'm curious about that myself. Maybe he turns face and joins Teddy's. I don't know.
No, probably not. I mean, the only thing I can see is him and Ryder. I just don't know if they'll. I mean, I guess you could do the old 90-second special if you want to squeeze it in, but
right.
I feel like it probably deserves that spot after the way how much time they've devoted to that feud.
I almost feel like. Well, we'll get to this when we talk about the show itself, and we have our little segment of our Mania segment. But I almost feel like they've jacked the show up with these big matches that there's nobody left to make matches with. I feel like all of a sudden you have all these guys, but everything's empty. And I think this goes back to your theory about loading the show up with fantasy matches without really cultivating the roster. And look what happened. We'll get to that in a minute. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, I actually like this. Maybe I'm nuts. Probably. I think I'm going to like this new Edge movie.
Actually, yeah. I can't say I'm going to run out and want to buy it.
No,
see
but
it,
I mean,
I think it fits. I think Edge kind of fits that little goofy,
smart ass,
laid back, smart ass, rebel cop role.
Yeah.
And I think he's funny enough. I think he'll do okay in those. I don't think they're going to make a ton of money or anything, but I think he's serviceable enough to, be a good HBO movie guy.
How old is Jamie Kennedy, though?
Yeah, he did not look good.
Wow.
I didn't know that was him, honestly.
I didn't either until somebody mentioned it in the chat, on the PTB chat. I was like, wait a minute, that guy looks familiar. Holy shit, that's the guy that acted like an ass in the early 90s on MTV or whatever the hell show he had. We had a tag between Big Show Sheamus, Cody, Mark Henry. Not bad, Sheamus, Big Show win. All right. Here we go. Wow.
If Henry's hurt, I don't get why they keep running him out here just to job. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
I don't either.
Weird decisions this week.
I know. All right. Before we get to the last part, because I got a lot to talk about, thoughts on Note Taker or Triple H?
Wow. I didn't even realize that's how you said it, but I guess they have a lot planned for next week in Boston with Sean being on. So I'm kind of cool letting it simmer. They did the video packages, so maybe that's why I felt like to me they were on. Because we had the video package recap, and I think it's cool. I don't think we need to run them out there every week because they're going to run out of shit to say. So save it for the next big step in their story, and that's next week with Michaels back in the house. Yeah.
Speaking of two guys who are running out of shit to say, why don't we get to, and I I think people were more surprised in our chat how angry I was more than anybody else. But all right, finally, The Rock has come back to the Rose Garden. I don't know if you've ever even been in the building. He comes out, cuts his promo. I absolutely hated it. Mm-hmm. What about you? Time to play the game! Yeah, I would like to have had him come out and pedigree this son of a bitch, but anyway.
I did not feel it. I'm just going to jump ahead because Cena came out and I thought he really took him to school.
I did too. Absolutely.
I liked that Cena has a reason. He has legitimate beef. He has points. He can explain his position. The Rock, to me, is still out there doing the same slanderous, just garbage jokes. It to me stopped being funny a while ago. They're funny for the crowd to chant live, Kung Pao bitch and everything else. It's funny for a little chuckle, but to me, it doesn't add any meat to this feud. It's like, no, we get it. You think he has a vagina. You think he looks like Fruity Pebbles. He's a bitch. We understand. Why? Why don't you like this guy? He hasn't told us why he doesn't like John Cena.
Right.
Now,
he's hinted at times that he does. I think it was more last year before 27. That he doesn't like the product. This is not his WWE.
Right. Well, he
kind of hinted to that.
Come out and say, hey, Cena, you're a Rock ripoff. You're a wannabe. I left. They got desperate. They pushed you to the top. You can't be movies like I can. You can't draw the crowds like I can. You're Rock light. Do something like that. Say you're not even edgy. You couldn't have hung in the Attitude Era. You think you're tough, but you ain't. Do something like that. Why, instead of this, oh, you have a vagina, ha ha ha.
It's like, Kung Pao bitch is now trending, ha ha ha.
We get it.
Like,
so let me run this by you though, because I saw this theory thrown out there on the blog in Doom.
Okay.
That this is all part of the game that they made Rock look weak in comparison to Cena, and they did it because Cena's the one that's going to be sticking around. They want Cena to be the one, to look stronger over Rock in this case. And that Rock really, if he was let loose on his own, to go out there and go back and forth with Cena wouldn't be this lame, and Cena wouldn't have owned him the way he did.
The fact that he has to be told to do that is pretty bad.
No, not told, but that's their goal. That's the story.
Yeah. But the fact, well, I mean, not told, but I mean, obviously, I know you had said this last year when he first came back, that obviously he's rusty. We said the same thing a couple weeks ago with Taker, or with last week's Raw. Taker was a little rusty. Rusty's one thing, but it's almost like he's not even trying. Like
no,
he's like,
no, I don't think you're following what the point is of that theory. The theory is the story, the bookers, has nothing to do with directing Rock because he's lost or mixed up. They're saying we want the end game of this angle to be Cena coming out the strongest because he's the one sticking around. We want you to make Cena basically. So they are purposely having Rock tank these promos. And
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Maybe it didn't come off like if that
no, the way you were saying it made it sound like, oh well, they're helping him along because he's lost.
No. My point is they are telling him to tank it. That's my point. They're telling him to kind of half-ass the promos. That's what I was saying. Not saying
but they're not doing it because they don't think he'll do it on his own. They're just saying this is the directive. This was the plan all along for this match. Was that Cena was going to be the one to look strong in the end. So they kind of have a Rock, come off looking like the schmo a little bit, or not having as much. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense on one level to me. I don't know if all of a sudden they would decide to do it now, but.
I mean, it was blatant. I mean, it was horrific.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it was just blatantly. It was so blatant that it has to be. Rock is not usually that off, and for Cena just to completely own him, and like when he said about the notes, I mean, Rock looked legitimately pissed when he said, "I don't need notes written on my wrist." I mean, he got beat red, and he did not look happy.
No, he didn't look
happy. That was like the Colin Hogan bald thing or something.
Yeah, I know. But here's the other thing: if they wanted Cena to look strong, why did they have him leave the ring and let Rock get the last word in? Then, what I would have done if I was Cena is friggin' FU'd him. Is what I would have done.
No, I think they're trying to avoid them touching anymore.
I like the way you said that. But it kind of reminds me of the Cena Orton promo from Backlash 07 that I watched last night with all the innuendos. That was funny. But yeah, maybe not. Maybe I'm just looking for enough of the yapping because it's not working. But maybe it is working. But Cena legitimately is mad. And whether they're supposed to have him come off as a heel is irrelevant. Because I think, obviously, that this feud is kind of directing towards the way Rock and Hogan did it in 2002. Obviously, Hogan was not going to be told to tone his promos down.
Right, but he was coming in as a clear heel. And there was no... I mean, he was sticking around. This is different. Rock is going to kind of stick around. Obviously, he's supposed to be at SummerSlam, and it's been revealed that he'll be at Mania next year. But he's not going to be on TV every week. Hogan was being brought back as a major character.
Right.
So this is completely different. So, yeah. I mean, Rock was going over, but they weren't going to have Hogan completely kind of put him over on that level.
Do you think this is similar to kind of Rock, Stone Cold, and heading into 19?
No, because both those guys are leaving. I'd say it's closer to Rock and Lesnar, if anything.
Although well, no, not really, because you figure Rock needed to be put over because he was obviously going to put over.
All right, how about this? How about more like Hogan Michaels? A dream match where one guy's still around and the other guy is in for a quick shot.
True. Let's hope that the result is different and that the guy sticking around actually wins.
Yeah.
That's the thing that concerns me.
Cena's going to win. He has to win.
He has to win.
Yeah, you can't have Rock. And Rock's not the kind of guy that's going to... He doesn't need the win. I don't think he cares. He cares. He wants to make it good, but I don't think he cares if he wins or loses. He just wants to have a great match.
No, I hope not.
No, I can't. I would be shocked if Cena lost this match.
I'd be shocked too, but my concern is that he's not the one that was going to make the final call. You know who was going to make the final call.
Yeah, but what do they gain? They gain nothing by having Rock win. And the only way Rock would win, to me, is if Rock pulls the power play and says he won't lose, and he's not going to do that. So
no, he doesn't seem like that kind of guy. Let's just hope that's the path we take. But overall, Cena, maybe they should have stayed in the ring. I don't know. Him walking off and letting Rock get the last word in bothered me.
No, but it's almost like Cena was done with him. Like, here's what I'm saying. I don't care. I'm not going to go back and forth with your childish bullshit. I'm out. I'm the bigger man. I'm walking away. Here's my side of the story. Like it or leave it, whatever, and I'm out. I think it's fine that he didn't hang around and be pandered to and have more of the lady parts and all the bullshit. Basically, he's like, look, if you want to resort to this crap, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. Here's my side of the story. Boom,
okay,
out.
All right. Well, maybe it didn't come off that way, and it's unfortunate.
There's only one way it could have ended better.
Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
What, do you want Cena to tell him? Well, I just was getting so tedious with the, oh, great, now there's going to be a Kung Pao bitch shirt.
No, I know. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Just, good God. I mean, I understand kind of toning down. It's almost like what they told Shawn, but in reverse. Remember they told Shawn during that feud with Hogan, Shawn wanted to be he wanted the two babyface thing.
Right.
But Hogan said, no, I want to be the only good guy. And they wanted Shawn to be the Shawn. And Shawn pretty much said to them, if I'm going to be the 97 Shawn, I'm going to chew this fucking bum up and spit him out. And that's pretty much what he did.
Yeah.
And in return, Hogan said, fuck you, I'm not losing. And he didn't.
Right.
So obviously, Rock is I won't say he's being told, but obviously Rock is dummying down because he could chew Cena up and spit him out. Although I'll tell you something. Cena, I don't think would put up with it.
No, I think
Cena will go right back.
Yeah,
so,
I think Cena can. And I think we're seeing it with some of it. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, to me, it makes sense both ways. If you told me Rock just had an off night and Cena just kind of, was locked in and kind of shut him down, I'd believe it. If you told me they told Rock to, go easy on him, this is the guy we need for the future, let's try and make him look like he can hang with you instead of, to me, Rock coming in always schools guys anyway and makes guys look weak just because he's so good. I mean, not purposely. So to me, that might be a good plan anyway, saying.
I agree. Exactly. But
it's not the best idea to have him just go out there and kill guys.
I think at some point in the next 4 weeks, Cena just needs to get in his face and say, all right, enough with the one-liners, enough with the crowd chanting. Why don't you like me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what is your problem with me? Okay,
I feel like they did that at one point, and I can't remember what the outcome was. I feel like last year they did do something like that. Because
Cena's like, you know what? You're the one that started this last year. You came in here and said you didn't like me. And that's when the Fruity Pebbles and the bright shirts and all that crap started. Why don't you just tell everyone here and cut the one-liners and tell me why don't you like me? All right? This feud needs to have some substance to it now. All right? The funny jokes are cool. The 5 million Twitters, the 10 million Facebook friends, whatever. That's fine. But now it's time to get you want to hook the older fans in to this feud. You need to give some of these promos a little bit of teeth. And Cena should say, why don't you just tell everyone why you don't like me? All right, and don't say it's because of my bright shirts and my wristbands and my hats. That's dumb. Okay, these people, I know my fans are 10 years old, but you don't have to talk to them like they're 10 years old. That's got to happen at some point in the next few weeks. And enough of the Kung Pao bitch and all that other garbage. It's enough of it. We'll get the ratings. I actually found a good story with actually the breakdown of the ratings during the segments.
Okay.
So we'll get to that during the news and notes and chew on that for a little bit. But overall, was the show fun? Did you enjoy it overall?
Yeah, it was fine. It was,
okay.
I thought it had its moments where it needed to be, and of course, any show with Punk and Bryan's going to be good as well. And of all the promos, how do you rank the major promos on the show?
Okay, from bottom to top, Rock at the bottom, Punk, and not because he was bad; it's because he didn't have to really do much. He did his normal thing. He didn't upgrade, but he didn't downgrade. 2 Cena and 1 Jericho.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
Jericho was the best. And Jericho was the best. Again, Punk wasn't bad. He didn't do anything unbelievably awesome, but he didn't really suck. The only one that was bad was Rock.
Yeah.
Punk was kind of flatlined. He kind of just responded to Jericho, but didn't go too bonkers. Cena, I thought, was awesome. And Jericho finally is the Jericho that we need. Okay, fine. We had the vignettes. We had the little girl in the classroom and all that crap. And we had the yay, and all that other nonsense. All right, let's get down to business now. Now we're at the time where it's time to cut the fluff and get these guys down in the ring and really cut the promos and set these things up and get down to business. I mean, maybe that's the Attitude Era guy in me that we want to get the dirt down now instead of all the other stuff, but I think that's what both these feuds need. But at least Punk and Jericho are honest with each other. And I think Rock and Cena need that. I think it's time for them to be honest with each other. And the fans need to see that. Instead of the 7-minute video pieces and the Rock has 8 million Twitter or whatever it is, 800,000 Twitter followers.
I mean, that stuff is fine as ancillary information, but yeah, it can't be the focal point of everything.
No, we need some meat and potatoes now. So All right, so there is Raw, and again, not bad. Had its good points, low points. I was not upset with no Triple H and Cena. That didn't bother me. All right, the SmackDown.
I'll read these. I can read through these.
Okay, because mine's not opening. So the SmackDown.
Yep, from Seattle.
Spoilers.
Ted DiBiase defeated Unico in a dark match. Show kicks off with Sheamus. Came out to a big pop. Talks about WrestleMania, but he's interrupted by Vicky and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph pulling double duty this week with both shows, Raw and SmackDown. And Teddy ends up making Sheamus versus Ziggler for right now. And Sheamus won the match. So Dolph takes another loss, but I'm sure he bumped like a champ as always.
Yes, he did.
Johnny Laurinaitis came in, talked to Teddy Long. Laurinaitis wants an apology for what happened on Raw. Teddy refused. And instead, we're going to see Mark Henry versus Big Show tonight.
So we're going to make the one-legged silverback wrestle again.
I know, poor bastard. Santino defeated Heath Slater. How do you feel about Slater in the Jobber to the Star role? I really like him. I feel like he's a good name guy, kind of like we've talked about those guys in like 96 that kind of came in with their name guys, but they put over the bigger talent. I think he works pretty well in that.
I do too. I mean, better than being unemployed. I mean, getting a paycheck for losing.
But I just mean his in-ring style seems to fit that role pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. I concur. And, he keeps working this. Maybe they'll give him some other kind of a gimmick, and maybe he'll get pushed again sometime later this year. He's one of those guys. The way these guys are now, taking a hit is not the end of the world as long as you're still on TV. That's what it is. If you get endeavored, then...
Unless you're Tyson Kidd.
Yeah, or Trent Beretta. Exactly.
All right. This next segment makes me die a little bit more inside. Eve comes out and cuts another promo like she did on Raw, but then Natalya comes out and farts, which leads to a match where Eve quickly beats Natalya.
I didn't mention this to you. What'd you think of Eve's promo Monday?
I thought it was fine. I mean, whatever.
Apparently she practiced it. Apparently
she did okay.
She's still hot, but yeah, this farting thing is apparently it's being used to. You put this story in the list, but apparently it's being used to put her over.
Yeah, of course it is. That's why she's losing quick matches every week.
Yeah, losing quick matches.
Hey! What is going on here?
I don't know where that smell came from. It ain't me. It's pretty much what everyone's saying.
I don't know. Waste of talent.
It is waste of time.
All right, in-ring segment with Cody and Big Show. Teddy comes out and makes Show versus Cody for the IC title at WrestleMania. All right, few things here. Mm-hmm. It's cool to see the IC title back on the Mania card.
Yes.
I think this is going to be a solid match. I think these two will work well together.
I concur.
Where the fuck happened to Shaq? What happened to Shaq?
I don't know.
He's been going around saying he's involved in Mania.
Yeah, I don't know. We have that on our little WrestleMania mini list in a minute. Okay. I found a Shaq story. So
all right, I wonder if he's going to ref or something. I'm curious.
I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe he'll ref it.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be the guest ref.
Obviously he's not coming. Yeah, I don't know, because why would they make this match? Unless something happens and Cody backs out and they put Shaq in. I don't know. It's weird.
And then have somebody else face Cody. I don't know.
Yeah, that or they figured the show was loaded enough that they didn't need it. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Big Show defeated Mark Henry with a knockout punch. That's just what we needed.
So this is great. The guy's hurt, so let's help him out by jobbing him all the
time.
Totally
ruining him.
What is going on?
All right, we go backstage with Laurinaitis, Teddy, and Otunga. Otunga threatens to sue Teddy for pushing Laurinaitis, and we have Otunga versus Big Show made for Raw for next week. Teddy puts Drew McIntyre in another match where if he loses, he's fired, this time with Justin Gabriel, and Gabriel picks up the win. Teddy appears on the screen and fires Drew, and Drew cries before leaving. So I don't know what's going on with him. He's another guy that they should just use as a job of the stars without having to do the stupid "you're fired" thing every time.
I know, really.
And then the main event, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton had a match until Kane's pyro went off. He came down to the ramp. Orton and Kane brawled as Bryan escaped. Kane got the upper hand of the ring and chokeslammed Orton. Kane took a mic and welcomed Orton back. And now I see maybe this will be our match.
So you take him out of who the hell is going to be on Teddy's team? Maybe they're not even going to have this match. Maybe they're not even going to have it.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if we're just going to get Long and Laurinaitis straight up.
Oh, God. And Shaq's the ref of that match?
Yeah, maybe Shaq gets involved there. I mean, maybe Del Rio's not ready to wrestle, and Christian, Yeah, unless they are doing Money in the Bank still. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. But it seems like not a bad show. It'll be on Friday night on Sci-Fi. Mm-hmm. What I like about Daniel Bryan, one thing you got to give Bryan and Punk credit for, and this is a change from the Attitude Era at least. These guys are wrestling every single week, sometimes twice a week, and at least give Bryan credit. He is wrestling twice a week. Punk's not.
Well, not Attitude, Punk, SmackDown guys were wrestling Raw and SmackDown every week.
Do you think they're gonna get rid of that eventually? The super show where the SmackDown guys show up on Raw.
Yeah, I thought it was only supposed to run until
Triple H left.
No, remember when they announced it first? They had said it was on the schedule through. Was it through WrestleMania? It might have been. I have a feeling after Mania they'll do the draft and they'll get rid of the Super Show.
They get rid of the Super Show because I mean the SmackDown guys are just going bonkers, huh? And they seem to have more house shows and. But again, like the Attitude Era, when Rock and Stone Cold and all those guys, Triple A, they never wrestled. I don't think you saw them, which probably was good because it kind of built for the pay-per-view. So it's a double-edged sword. But I enjoy seeing Punk and Bryan wrestle every week because they have the chops too. So
definitely.
So all right, let's get into some WrestleMania news. See if I can fire up my PIC again. He was feeling pretty frisky last week.
I know. I went out strong.
You did. It was very nice.
Downstairs and forced my wife into labor. I was so fired up.
All right, okay.
Hang on, let me get some mood music for you.
Okay, here we go. Thank you. Feeling we had a Linda Senate rally right here.
Yes.
Okay. This first link, of course, isn't working. Thanks, Jeff Peck. But all right. So anyway, the official 5. Right now, there are 5 matches now. So let me just that's what the link was. 5 matches.
I don't know if something's weird with clicking these links. Let me see if I can get it because some of them are coming up, some of them weren't before.
I mean, I just cut and paste them exactly as they were in the link.
Yeah, it's saying nothing found.
Yeah, but anyway, all it does is list the 5 matches. So it's Punk and Jericho for the WWE title, Bryan and Sheamus for the World Heavyweight title, Triple H and Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. John Cena versus The Rock, and now added for the Intercontinental Championship, the Big Show against the champion, Cody Rhodes. Think Goldust still gets involved?
I forgot about Goldust. That's too bad. No, it looks like it's not going to happen. They haven't really built it up anyway, so that sucks. Yeah, I was hoping they would do that. That would have been cool.
All right. Next up, another piece of news, and I mentioned this to you earlier.
You know what they should do with Dusty in the Legends house? They should have Cody and Goldust show up and get into a big brawl at the house.
It'd be pretty good.
My son's fighting over the house.
Yeah. Man, I raised some weird kid. And then, of course, they'll bring in Jason. And
if only.
And if everything will be fine. All right. In Demand has released a new synopsis for WWE's WrestleMania 28 pay-per-view, and it advertises a certain extra person. Let me read it for you. Witness the once-in-a-lifetime collision of The Rock and John Cena as they face off on the grandest stage of them all. Welcome to WrestleMania, the most anticipated event in WWE history. Don't miss superstars like The Undertaker, Triple H, Kane, CM Punk, and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's just In Demand, just naming guys that somebody put on a sheet.
I agree.
Pretty much what it is. So don't look too much into that. All right, here we go. And of course, now this story is missing. It was about Shaquille O'Neal, who says he's still going to be at WrestleMania. We don't know when or how, but he said that he's still going to be there.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, he'll do something with Rock and Kane or something.
Yes. And the final story, which also isn't coming up, but I remember what it is that after, I don't know what the heck. Come on, Jeff Peck, for God's sake.
This happened to me last week, too, a little bit.
Oh, God. Anyway, the last story, but I remember what the stories were. The last story is pumping up down in Raleigh, which is where Over the Limit is going to be. They're pumping up a Sheamus Daniel Bryan rematch. But apparently, it seems like the way the video piece ran, it hints that Bryan actually will win April 1st in Miami.
I can't see it. Obviously, they're not going to give it away, so
yeah,
I don't see it happening. I can't. Sheamus has been built up so well, and I think Punk's retaining, so I think Sheamus has to win the title there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to cry if he doesn't, but
no, I'm not either. And I mean, if the feud's going to continue either way. So, but let me ask you this though: you were saying last week that because of all this jacked up card with all these guys, that Sheamus's first major big stage babyface win is going to be buried in the undercard.
Yeah.
If he loses, gets screwed, gets shafted, AJ turns heel, something, I don't know. Then would that be okay? Then
if they would have it be the main event of the next show, but I don't see them ever letting that be the main event. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to go to Extreme Rules. That's not going to be last. It's still going to be buried behind whoever Punk is fighting.
Well, it certainly won't be last at Extreme Rules, obviously, because they're in Chicago. So that's
what I mean. So, like, it's not like the old days where you could say, oh, well, we'll run this. I just don't see them running that match on top of any pay-per-view. So it sucks that it's going to happen like this in the middle of the show, but I don't see them doing it otherwise anyway. So
okay. All right. You went on a good run last week. And now, we mentioned this during the Raw recap, we keep talking about what other matches they're going to have on the show, but let's think about it, man. Take away everybody that's already booked in a match. Who the hell is left? Exactly. Who the hell's left, though?
It depends. I mean, I don't know if guys like Del Rio and Christian or even Ray are healthy, if they're going to be competing in matches, or Henry. So, I mean,
well, maybe if they give the guy a freaking week off, maybe.
I know.
So
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get the 8-man. I don't know if we're going to get something with Shaq. I don't know. It looks to me like they're setting up Orton and Kane. So I don't see where else Kane fits into that 8-man. So it looks like Orton's out of that. So I'm guessing we're getting Orton Kane.
Almost feels like Orton is in Kurt Angle's spot in 2002 where they didn't know what the hell to do with him, so they threw him in this match with Kane.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess we could get a tag match. It wouldn't shock me if we see Epico and Primo in the opener against Truth and Kingston. Kind of like the year we had Morrison and Truth against Miz and Big Show.
Yes.
Yeah, that opened the show. It was only like 4 minutes. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get something like that to kick the show open. Epico and Primo defending the title. So you could squeeze them in there. I mean, there's things you can do. It just depends if they decided to do Money in the Bank or not.
Now,
you got Ziggler, too. He's not doing anything yet.
Yeah.
Swagger.
All right. Now, if you were, we'll talk more about this as we get, like, maybe that week before. You're booking the lengths of these matches. All right. You're Pat. Because Pat, that's what Pat does. That's what Pat does best. As a booker. Okay. Not as a. Come on. Wouldn't you want to be with Sylvan? Anyway, he's one of your favorite guys anyway. All right. You're in the role of Pat. Okay. You're in his old role as the guy that's booking the endings and the lengths and things like that. What match will be the longest on this show?
You got to make Roxina.
Roxina will be longer. They can. You think Roxina could go 19
I think you
minutes,
have to.
20 minutes?
This is your dream match. You've booked this a year in advance. This, to me, has to be the marquee match of the show.
Now, here is where I start to agree with you. I thought of this today while I was setting the list. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw this at him because I know it's not going to be the main event, but as you can tell, guys like Wilkie and I are already jonesing for the Hell in a Cell. But if you're going to make Roxina 22 minutes, you can't make Triple H and Taker in a Cell 12 minutes.
No, you probably give them like 18 maybe.
Okay.
Jericho's probably going to get stiffed more than it should. I think Sheamus Bryan, honestly, I love Bryan. I would make that a squash. I really would. I think you have Sheamus catch him off guard. Maybe Bryan jumps him at the bell. He never even gets his jacket off. Sheamus, runs him into the ring post, hits him with the Celtic Cross or whatever, and wins the title.
Whatever.
Yeah, it wins it in,
dominant.
Yeah, dominant under a minute, and that's how you build him up as your next face champion. Have him squash this measly heel that's been running around with the title all these weeks, and then you save time that way, and you give him a rematch. It gets a little more time at Extreme Rules. I mean, that would probably set the internet on its head, but that's what I would do.
Oh, you know it'll start because, easily. Why? Because who's going to squash the internet's
Sheamus'
darling?
Boy. Yeah.
Triple H's
Triple H's boy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Although I think a lot of people like Sheamus.
I think a lot of people like Sheamus,
they would feel more that... I don't think they'd feel like Daniel Bryan got screwed. I think they'd feel like we got hosed out of a good match. Like they got fucked last year getting put on the pre-show, and they'd get fucked again here by only giving them a minute worth of time.
And actually, for match lengths, I think you're right. Triple H and Taker could probably get away with 18 minutes.
I mean, who says they have to have 9 or 10 matches? I mean, they could just go with 6 matches to fill the 4 hours. I don't know. And you have, the Roxina and the Hell in a Cell each get a half hour each. You give Jericho 20, and you give Sheamus Bryan 12 or 13, and then you fill out the rest from there.
And you never know. You could have a cool segment with the Hall of Famers. Well,
I'm saying you might not have much time left, so I don't think you need to fill time. I'm saying those could eat up your time. And then you can still do, if you want to do Teddy and Johnny, that could be a few minutes. Schmaz there. Orton and Kane, you figure 8 or 9 minutes there, and you just kind of run it from there. But I think they could still get away with having those big matches on top heavy if you don't want to just waste the card out with random matches. Right.
I like I don't know, something tells me I think they're going to do a cool Hall of Fame. Remember they did the whole thing with Stone Cold where he, in 2009 at 25, they did the separate Hall of Fame. They all came out on the ramp and then he did his whole little RV, little SUV thing or whatever the fuck that thing is, ATV or whatever. Maybe they'll do a cool segment with you can't. In my opinion, you can't waste Tyson. He's too polarizing a character to just have him come out and wave. I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah.
And then you got the Horsemen, particularly if Flair's there. Flair's there, you can't blow that. If Flair does
we'll see if he's at Mania. I mean, I guess he would be. It sounds like he's going to the Hall of Fame regardless of what TNA says. They still haven't given him
Yeah.
Actually, I see you have a note about that, so we'll say.
Yeah, we got a story on that.
All right, let's get to the news. Why don't we do that?
So, all right. Why don't we take before we do that, why don't we take a quick breather, see if we don't hear any crying in the background.
No, this has been crying. I'm just trying to gut through it.
Oh, poor thing. All right, so let's take a quick break. We come back. We'll go through the news and notes. We've got a lot to go over. The first story is going to blow my PIC's mind because it goes back to old school days of multimedia. But first, a word from our friends at WrestleChat.net. Because
promotional consideration has been serendipitously paid for by Kato and the following.
How many pro wrestling news websites do you visit to get your daily news? 3, 4, maybe 5? Do yourself a favor and make that number 1. WrestleChat.net, the only professional wrestling news site that brings you all wrestling news all day long, and is home of the critically acclaimed Still Real to Us podcast, starring former CZW, ROH, and ECW announcer Eric Gargiulo and the champ Jeff Beck. That's WrestleChat.net. WrestleChat, it's where it's at.
WrestleChat.net is your home for everything pro wrestling. TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor. Lee Marshall is always in Pennsylvania doing the Ring of Honor updates from somebody's house. They have a great message board, of course, the Still Real to Me podcast. And as you're looking through the stories, check to the right, you'll see the PTB Gnome, proudly worn by Jordan Duncan. Click on it, go to Podbean, and listen to our awesome 109, now soon to be 110 volume catalog of awesome PTB goodness. WrestleChat.net, your home for everything pro wrestling. And a quick shout out, because it's been a couple weeks, quick shout out to our man Graham Cawthon and his awesome historyofwwe.com website. Great research site for anything and everything, detailed results of
the 10-year anniversary has happened, by the way. Ring of Honor's up there, TNA is up there.
Yep. So, Graham, you're the man, and we're going to have you back on soon as well. Mm-hmm. So there you go. WrestleChat.net, your home for everything pro wrestling. Okay, before we start hearing screams from up the stairs, why don't we get down to business? All right, the news and notes. This first story you're going to love. Okay? You're going to love this. According to one of my favorite sites, I've been trying to get you on to, WWEDVDnews.com, an entertainment magazine in the UK indicates that WWE will be releasing 4 best of WWE era volumes this year. Ready for this? 85 through 89, 90 to 94, 95 to 99, and 2000 to 2004. All 4-disc sets.
Love it.
No word yet if these best of WWE era sets will be exclusive to the UK. Boo. I doubt it.
King James Manda can make us copies and send them abroad.
Exactly, but they will be released there in June. It's possible that the best of 95-99 set is the Attitude Era DVD that Mick Foley was recently working on. So he was in Titan
Depends
Towers.
what they load it with, though. I mean, if we see the same fucking Raw and pay-per-view matches, which you know there's going to be some overlap.
Oh, yeah, of course there'll be.
But hopefully we'll get some hidden gems instead, you know?
Well, here's the problem.
We don't need the ladder match in the Iron Man again.
Yeah, no, we don't need a ladder match. I'm curious of what they're going to do for the 95 to 99 because it's going to be Blur fucking City putting that thing together. There was a rumor a while back that the World Wildlife Fund was changing their name, and apparently part of the settlement is if they do end up changing it. But at this point, Vince is not going to go back to. I don't think.
No, but it might allow them to use the past.
Well, yeah, they can.
That would be the key.
They can unblur everything. So on face value, I'm stoked about that. But again, there's a lot of sets, but. Saturday Night's Main Event stuff. They did hold a lot of Saturday Night's Main Event stuff back from the 3-disc.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Maybe that 85 to 89 could be loaded with house show stuff. And so maybe some cool superstars moments so we didn't see, heel turns and things like that. So, okay. Number 2. Kane is featured on the new poster for WWE's Extreme Rules pay-per-view. This year's event takes place April 29th from the Allstate Arena in Chicago. They still don't go to the United Center. Isn't that weird? From the Allstate Arena in Chicago. The poster, the in-demand says, Extreme Times call for Extreme Rules. Don't miss Cena.
I never take those seriously.
No, I was just reading it. It was part of the quote. But yeah. So
I mean even Kane being on the front.
Oh, well, he's on there. He's always on. They always do somebody weird on the.
Yeah, that was Sheamus was on Elimination Chamber, and he wasn't even on the show.
He wasn't even on the show. So yeah. So anyway, so there's that poster. Okay, number 3, the buy rates are out for the Rumble. The new numbers from WWE: the 2012 Royal Rumble pay-per-view did approximately 438,000 buys. That's down 1.7% from last year's 446,000.
It's actually not that bad of a drop for them.
No,
it sucks that it didn't go up, but it could have went worse comparatively to other shows every year that seem to nosedive year after year.
Yeah. Based on early numbers, the 2012 Rumble did 272,000 buys in North America, 166,000 internationally. So.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, it was fun because it was the Rumble, but it wasn't exactly a loaded card heading in.
Okay. This next story I had about The Miz is not loading, but it wasn't that. It was something about a reality show that he was thinking of being on. Okay, this is the story that I put on here specifically to validate you on whether or not you're pissed off at the bookers.
Okay.
Chris Jericho released the following video. I'm not going to play it, but he released a video to announce Fozzy will be playing the Download Festival in the UK second weekend of June. We reported that Jericho's WWE return may be a short one. He's expected to go back on the road and in the studio with Fozzy.
Even though, see, I saw something else today that said he wasn't doing the whole thing of the UK, just that couple shows or something, and that he was sticking around now. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that either.
I don't know if you follow on Facebook WWE 24/7.
I do.
Okay, it's like just news.
Yeah,
and it is basically similar to Wrestle Chat, and they're the ones I believe. I'll see if I can scroll and find it while you're.
Okay. Another story that again has an error, but I remember it anyway. This was inevitable, but guess who the WWE is interested in bringing in? The Briscoes.
Interesting.
No shock there. The best tag team in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But of course, they're under contract and Ring of Honor is blocking them, which they have every right to. They're the best freaking tag team in the company. However, there's a little scuttle going on in the locker room. We should see. I wonder if our man, the Hurricane there, knows any insight on this. But apparently, Ring of Honor guys are getting a little miffed at Corny that he's not allowing them to go do indie shows, which that was the whole thing that people loved about staying in Ring of Honor is they can go and do as they please.
Well, this all changed with Sinclair coming in and making things a little bit more legitimate, bankrolling a little bit more and wanting to make them a little bit more of a competitor. But I also read before that they were pissed at Corny because they felt he was pushing his guys ever since the Sinclair took over and not really using the guys that have been with Ring of Honor for a long time. It's kind of showcasing his boys.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know what the whole. I mean, there's other people saying that it's got nothing to do with anything.
Right.
So,
I've enjoyed the show weekly. I've watched the first 2 weeks that has been available here. If you're in this area in Rhode Island, I don't know if anyone's out there listening, but in this area, it's on CW on Saturday nights at 10, and it's a pretty good show. Davey Richards defended against Jay Lethal this past weekend, and our man Eddie Edwards is in action next week as they head towards Final Battle 10. Right?
Okay.
Is that the show?
Yes, and then the anniversary show, which is this coming Sunday. I think the card is up for that. Maybe I'll have to look that up in a minute. Okay.
Final Battle I forget. Final Battle already happened. Yeah, it's the anniversary show. I mean,
it's the anniversary show on Sunday, right? I think there's a card somewhere. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, that's the tag match is headlining that.
Yes. All right. Regarding Ric Flair attending the Hall of Fame ceremony in Miami, it's said that the situation with TNA is still up in the air. Flair has indicated that he will be there, but as of now, TNA has not officially given him clearance to attend. No word yet on where things stand between TNA and WWE regarding Flair attending and appearing on camera.
He'll be there. He'll be on. He'll go anyway, even if they tell him not to. What are they going to do?
Yeah,
fire him? He doesn't get. If they fire him, he'll go back to Vince. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So at least I put up the Wrestle Chat thread of the news in case these don't open. So this one did open. Did you hear about this? The first part of independent wrestler Devin Nicholson's lawsuit.
I think you skipped a couple.
Did I?
You skipped the ratings breakdown and the next Hall of Fame one.
Hall of Fame induction. Oh, I looked at Hall of Fame induction. Okay. The Raw Super Show rating. Okay. All right. Here's the breakdown for Raw on Monday night. Did a 314 with 4.64 million viewers. It was down from the previous week.
Yeah, that's a crappy rating for
that's pretty awful.
You're plugging the Rock.
Yeah.
3 weeks or 4 weeks from Mania.
Okay. Punk, I'll do this quickly. Punk Jericho did 3-2 quarter. The match lost viewers. That bothers me. The video this is going to piss people off.
I think matches, though, not to go, but I think matches generally lose viewers because I feel like there are fans that just aren't wrestling fans that kind of tune in just to see, the casual wrestling fans that aren't fans of in-ring action. They're more into the promos and characters and storylines.
You're going to laugh at this. Wilkie will love this. The Punk-Bryan match lost 289,000 viewers, but the video package for Triple H and Taker gained 526,000.
That's my point, exactly. I feel like people tune in to see that stuff maybe more than in-ring action. So
yeah. At the top of the 10 o'clock hour, the Miz Cena match did a 3.09, which isn't great. The triple threat tag match lost viewers. The Eve Torres segment gained viewers back because it's her. The Rock promo gained 643,000 viewers to a 3.53 quarter rating, which is not great for the overrun.
3.53? That's really good, isn't it?
Well,
they don't usually go that high.
Nah, it says which is really nothing special for the overrun. I don't know what.
I didn't think they went that high still, but I guess maybe factoring in Rock and Cena going head to head, but that's a decent bump for the show. You're looking at 3 up to 3.5.
The Cena coming out to cut the promo and the Rock closing lost 349,000 viewers. I think people just because that promo ran till almost quarter after 11, so people might have just either DVR'd it or whatever and went to bed. So anyway, that's the quarter hour. That is the quarter hour of the
breakdown
for Raw. Okay, getting back to the Hall of Fame. Right now, the plan is to air just the inductions of the Horsemen and Edge on USA. Makes sense.
I'm done with the USA broadcast anyway. I think it's stupid that it's the next night. It's more exciting when it's the night before they air it, that night of the show. It's supposed to build to Mania. By the night after Mania, it just feels blah, like you're done.
I didn't realize they switched it. Did they switch it last year?
Yeah, last year was on Monday night. It was.
I remember Raw. It was always on Saturday. I didn't even notice.
No, because remember last year they did Hall of Fame, Raw, and then Tough Enough?
That's right. They did move it. That's right. But it always bothers me because the overrun, I never could DVR it right. I remember the year Brett was in. My TiVo cut it off, and it's always a disaster.
To me, it's just more exciting to have it the night before. It's like that's part of your build to Mania,
right?
Like when they used to do the Slammies that weekend and stuff. To me, you want to build to Mania with that shit. You don't want it to be kind of blah, especially now that they cut guys out and I just wait for the DVD.
Yeah, me too. So anyway, that's right. While Yoko is still expected to be announced, it's now believed someone other than Rock will be inducting him, but that's not confirmed. Edge will be inducted last, obviously, and of course he'll be inducted by Christian.
Yep.
You ready for this? You'll
10
love
minutes.
this.
10 minutes? I read that.
Each gets 10 minutes. Horsemen will get 10 minutes as a group, and Edge gets 10 minutes.
That's garbage.
But you ready for this? The Horsemen will be inducted by Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and yes, Dusty Rhodes.
And Edge is the Hoffman to the Hall of Fame. I'm sure they'll get 100 minutes to talk, but...
Oh, of course. And then maybe the four of them will beat the shit out of them.
I don't get why they have to cut. Why they have to limit it. It makes, I'm looking forward to going next year if we can get in. But to me, that hurts the excitement of it, knowing they can only talk for 10. 10 minutes is a long time for people to speak anyway. It sounds like it's short, but it is pretty long. But
it is long.
Let these guys go.
Yeah, this is their shot. They're in, and particularly those guys.
Yeah, Tully and Arn.
I want to hear Wyndham. Exactly. I want to hear Arn.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I have a feeling Flair won't talk much.
No, probably not.
He's already had his entry. Let the other three guys talk.
He'll stand back. They'll chant.
Yeah.
They'll chant. He'll have a word or two, but that's fine. Okay, here's the story now.
I still love that they inducted. I'm sorry. I still love that they did this without even telling them. That's the best part.
I know. Tells you how much they have any respect for TNA. They're getting back at him for getting Robbie, what's his name? the Highlander guy fired for putting his face on camera. Okay. The first part of independent wrestler Devin Nicholson's lawsuit against WWE is scheduled to be heard in Ottawa on March 8th. Have you heard about this? Yes. I actually heard an interview with him for all you fans. I know there's a lot that listen to our show. Also listen to The Law and Review Away. They interviewed him. Okay. For those that don't know, Nicholson reportedly has filed a $6 million lawsuit against WWE for rescinding a contract offer, claiming he was discriminated against because he has hepatitis C. Now, and I'm sure this guy is a very good wrestler, but just like the whole Magic Johnson playing NBA hoops with HIV, it's ironic that the story's up because earlier today, for some reason, I threw on Taker and Orton from Armageddon 05, and we all know what happened there. Because
the hepatitis match. Here's Nicholson's argument, though, because I did listen to the interview. And it was pretty. If you go back to the archives for, I can't remember if it was on a Review Away or if it was on The Law itself, but he talks about how WWE is contradicting themselves because they have a no blood policy. So he's saying it's irrelevant because they don't bleed. And if there is bleeding, they stop the match. That's their that's in their policy. That is legitimately on their website in their policy. So this is his lawsuit saying, you're telling me I can't work there because I have Hep C, but it won't matter because there's no bleeding and there's no accidental blood. You're stopping the match anyway. So where is the risk? That is his argument.
Okay.
And his beef is also, I think he had the lawsuit against Abdullah because Abdullah bladed him, and he's claiming that's how he got hepatitis C.
Oh God! God knows how many people have freaking Abdullah's bladed in his career. It could be hepatitis
all
over the world.
Same blade or whatever. So he's saying that's where he got it. But I mean, legally he makes a good point. I mean, WWE's policy is no blood, and he's saying if there's no blood, then there's no risk. So why are you saying this is why you can't hire me?
Exactly. Well, we're going to keep tabs on this because it's a very interesting case, and right now WWE does not need any.
We also know they don't fare well with lawsuits.
No, they're like 0 for who was Basil DeVito? Isn't he? Or what's McKendrick or McDivitt or whatever? Yeah, what is he like 0-500? Yeah, maybe they need to change.
I think the only thing he's ever won was WCW using the Razor and Diesel.
Yeah, maybe they should have Otunga to put him in. Maybe should him be the representative. All right. Are you even talking to me? Do you even know what I look like? Because right now we don't know what you're doing. You should put back on the do-rag when you were ECW. Probably watching the ECW belt. That's what he's doing around Titan Towers right now. He's walking around with the ECW belt.
One of my favorite Vince eras. The extreme crazed maniac.
Vince. Yes. That, by the way, that review will be coming up, will be posted at some point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Backlash. Who knows when, but that is the next
I'm trudging my way through it. My daughter and I watched a couple of matches this afternoon. So.
That's one of the things I want to ask you when we get to our our segment about our little Bambina. All right, as noted before, WWE might be dropping their new line of kayfabe shirts.
Already?
A decision may be made this. Well, here it is. A decision may be made this week about the shirts, and it was said that somehow the shirts got out due to a lack of communication, and a lot of people weren't even aware the line was coming out. As noted before, several people in WWE, as well as veterans out of the company, were not happy with the shirts. These are those black T-shirts that just say jobber, heel, writing the book or something like that, or it's all insider Carney terms on T-shirts. I don't understand what the whole point is, but
weren't there other ones out there? That barbershop window or whatever company. I think there were ones that were doing it and they're trying to capitalize on it.
Right, that's true. All right, we didn't talk about this last week because the rating wasn't out yet because of the holiday. But I also posted, if you want to talk about it, the Raw rating for last week's Raw. Mm-hmm. In case we want to go over it, we'll go over it very quickly. Segment breakdowns. The Cena Eve piece did a 3.58.
So that beat The Rock, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And let's see anything else. The Triple H Taker. The Triple H Taker segment gained 1.1 million viewers, and was the best 10 o'clock quarter gain in a year. 3.85.
Wow, no shock there.
Yeah. Cena's promo on Rock lost 480,000 viewers. It only did a 2.86 rating because we've seen Cena talk about The Rock enough, so I understand that. That makes sense. The Battle Royal gained 601,000 viewers for a 3.31 overrun. So all those guys breaking their necks and ripping their elbows and everything gained 601,000 viewers.
All those burgers, all those fries, all those shakes for what?
For what?
You're a bastard.
All right. This is no surprise to me. The Undertaker's time away from the ring has included surgeries on both the shoulder and hip. He was lighter than ever before when he showed up backstage at the Super Show last week. Right now, he weighs 280.
Wow.
I can't remember the last time he weighed under 300. The belief is that he would retire following the match with Triple H, but that's largely gone since it's not being hinted. Peers expect him to continue wrestling for 3 more years if he's able to compete once annually. This is the one thing I'm going to say about this. They will not let him retire. Not let him, but let me put it this way. I don't think they want him to retire until he gets the one Mania match with Cena.
No, I agree. And it's stupid not to. So, I mean, I'd look for that for next year, honestly, out of them.
Yeah, I think that's your match and I'll go to that. I'd love for that match next year.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And I think that would be last. Although Rock is supposed to fight and the rumors of Brock and all, we'll save that for later in the year.
Yeah,
we'll get
exactly. But let's be honest. As much as it'll piss people off, that is one match where I could see the streak end.
No, you can't. You can't do it. It would be nice. It'll be a good tease. I think you'll have a lot of question about it, but you can't. There's no point in ending the streak. Cena's not going to get any more over than he is now. So.
Okay, this next one didn't open, so I'm looking. Let me see if I can. WWE has yet to follow up on Karma's appearance last month at the Royal Rumble because she is not fully recovered from giving birth New Year's Eve. Isn't ready to work a full-time schedule.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah. So maybe her and Beth are not wrestling.
Well, maybe we do get Trish. I mean, Beth's got to... That's someone who we forgot before when we were talking about who else can fill the card out. They're building her up so well. You got to figure she's going to fight someone at Mania. Maybe Eve. We'll see.
They seem to be pushing her as a big heel right now. And we talked about, do you start pushes now in the middle of a Raw, in the middle of a WrestleMania build, but maybe it's because you want her there.
Oh, Karma could make it back for a match. She could just come out the week before Mania and they could have the match. I had a feeling, I saw and heard people complaining that, what happened with Karma? Why aren't they following up? And I never expected them to. I figured that was just a one-shot surprise and she'll be back eventually. They were just trying to kind of pop a shock there.
Right. Oh, this was the story that didn't come up. Well, you and I already talked about this, though. The verbal battle between The Rock and Cena was designed for Cena to get the upper hand. This was achieved by having The Rock had his notes on his wrist. Some in WWE claim that Cena pointed this out was unscripted. Maybe that's why Rock was pissed.
Yeah.
Officials want, let's put it this way, they want the same crowd reaction that they got in Toronto on April 1st, 1990. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
That's what they want. They want 50% Hogan, 50% Warrior.
It's not going to happen.
50% Rock. It's not going to happen.
No matter what they do with Rock, he can look like fucking Mo, Larry, and Curly combined over the next 4 weeks, and they're not going to boo him in Miami.
No. 411 Mania's Greg DeMarco reports that independent women's wrestler Buggy Nova received another tryout match against AJ at this month's SmackDown tapings in Fresno. Earlier this year at the Raw in Anaheim, which our man Grain Owens went to, WWE officials had Nova do promo work and brought her back at the SmackDown tapings the next night, where she completed a physical, did a photo shoot, and wrestled AJ again.
Interesting.
She also took part in a Kmart commercial with Sheamus and Lizzie Valentine.
Okay.
So, didn't we meet Lizzie Valentine? Wasn't she one of those indie shows? Didn't we meet her? Wasn't she with John?
Yes.
No. Yeah, wasn't she with?
I think so. Buggy Nova's pretty attractive.
Yeah, and isn't Lizzie? Isn't that who he was with when he was R.J. Brewer? Wasn't that her?
Yes, that's her. I'm looking at the picture now, and you're right. She looks familiar.
Yeah,
the Kmart picture. Okay.
This story is for well, no, it didn't post up, but anyway, there was a story about. Let me see if I find it in the thread. It's about your favorite guy there. One half of Well Done. Well Done is not well done. They're not baked. Let me see if I can find it on the thing. A Divas campaign, JBL return.
I'll read the last note while you're doing that. WWE's website has a new article looking at Cody Rhodes now holding the IC title for 200 consecutive days. He joins The Rock, Kurt Hennig, and Pedro Morales. And once March rolls around, he'll pass Shawn Michaels on the list. So good run for Cody.
Yes.
And he's been on TV. It's not one of those reigns where he's never on, which is good.
Right, exactly. All right, here we go. It was reported last week that former WWE talent Rex King, a.k.a. Timothy Well, had passed away. The information came from Puerto Rico, where he had wrestled for years. As it turns out, the information was a mistranslation, and King is not dead. King's ex-wife and his mother got in touch with King, who was unaware of the reports. He contacted the Wrestling Observer editors, a.k.a. Dave, to inform them that he was alive and well. King is currently living in Greenup, Kentucky. He suffered a neck injury at a WWC show in 2001 in Puerto Rico. That's, of course, the company that Carlos Colon runs, which was made worse by a second-story fall through a patio deck a few years back. Jesus Christ. King needs neck surgery, which is where the mistranslation about his death came in.
Oh, okay. Well, glad he's alive.
Yes, because Dunn's dead, right? Stephen Dunn is dead, right? Right? Is that his name?
Yeah, but he was Steve Dahl was his indie name, so let me see if I can find him.
I think he's dead.
Steve Dahl, yes. March 22nd, 2009.
Okay. That's a shame. He couldn't have been that old.
He was 48.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Blood clot from his lungs reached his heart.
Ugh. Well, that's obviously what ended Jesse the Body's wrestling career. Blood clots in the lungs. Okay. So there's your news and notes segment. Hope we enjoy that. I knew you'd like the. Actually, I put the Cody Rhodes one just for you because I know we like those.
My son do well with the acid turtle.
Yeah. Oh, did you know that the I couldn't find the story, but I think the full Legends House roster is out.
Yeah, it is.
It's
I know Pat's in it.
Oh God.
My dream would come true of him bringing guys back to the house.
and Jason and Goldust walk in.
Someone posted it on the Facebook page. I'll see if I can find it quick. But of course, the new timeline garbage is up, and it's impossible to find anything now.
I know. We'll have to find a way. PTB Nation, be patient, meander through it, help us out. Let's see if.
Yeah, let's hit that now. If you're going on there because of this new timeline feature, there's an option at the top where you can view posts by the page, meaning us, and posts by other users. So you might want to hit up both because I know you guys all post on there.
Yes.
So be sure to check both out every time you're on.
Yes, absolutely. For instance, we post stuff, and then, of course, Greenhouse is posting the Hottie tournament updates, things like that. So you have to check both for that. I know Hillbilly Jim is involved.
You look like Hillbilly Jim.
Oh, God. You're going to loan them the acoustic guitar?
I love the Kato Kato battle that's going on, by the way.
Yes. Poor Mooney. Mooney!
A lot of asshole of the week run for them.
Oh, God. I know that the network doesn't start for a while, but I really do hope that Legends House gets on some other channel first.
Yeah.
I don't think we can. How you and I can't.
All right, here it is. I got it.
Okay.
Hacksaw, Gene Oakland, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, The Fink, Roddy Piper, Jimmy Hart, Pat Patterson, and Hillbilly. So no Dusty.
No Dusty. Damn.
Solid group. I think Hillbilly and Jimmy will be kind of the straight guys. Well, actually, Fink might be the most. I'm a straight man as far as
Please don't
comedy
continue
goes.
that sentence.
As far as comedy goes.
Yeah. We hope there's more of them. Oh, God. You know Piper will be just a raving lunatic.
Yeah. I hope
he's going to he's going to call out Honky.
Who did he say he wanted to kill? Oh, Honky, that's right.
Honky. You know Honky will show up. There's going to be guys showing up here.
I hope so. I hope it's like Hogan's house and Hogan knows best when they had the pool party with the 80s brigade. Haku and Axe and all those guys, whoever the hell showed up.
You know who'll knock on the door? Kanto!
Are you Kanto or Kato or Santo?
So, all right. So there you go. There's your news and notes. Now, we left the end of the show open because I want to talk to my PIC about the wonderful last 7 days he has had. So why don't you? The floor is yours, my friend. Tell us everything that led up to, without the obviously medical details. We don't think we need that. Up to the wonderful birth and arrival of PTB's newest member.
All right. Well, when we left you, obviously last, I had told you my wife was having labor pain, so we went downstairs and she was hurting quite a bit. So we went to the hospital around 3 a.m. later that night and got sent home 2 hours later because they said she was not far along enough yet. So later that day, Wednesday morning, we actually had a doctor's appointment scheduled. So we went and she was further along. So they sent us right to the hospital. Throughout the day, things progressed. She started pushing along around 8:30, or actually even later than that. I think it was like 8:45. I was watching Suburgatory, A Modern Family during the delivery, so I will never look at those shows again the same way. And our beautiful daughter arrived around a little after 9 o'clock last Wednesday. So
9:06 to be exact.
9:09.
9:09 p.m.
Yes. So she is here with us. We were very excited. We came home Friday. A little up and down early on here, but we're trying to get into a routine and trying to keep my obligations to the nation alive, even though I know you all told me not to. I need a little outlet. So it's been fun. Her and I watched the end of the Wrestling Classic and worked on that review together, and she watched Backlash with me earlier today. So
great debut. Yes. Great. Her entrance into our world is a bunch of DQs and double countouts.
Yes,
that's great.
So, but things are going well, and as far as the future of the show goes, we're going to keep cranking these out as best we can. Scott and I are just going to try and find days over the next couple of weeks that work for both of us when I can kind of sneak up here and get these up. So I may throw up a thread just to get your Survivor Series 95 thoughts and just kind of keep those in the can until we're ready to get that show done. Right. We do have our big interview coming up. That guy that we have set to come on the show is aware of our situation right now and is fine waiting a few weeks till we can bring him on. But once,
and let me tell you something, PTB Nation, you will not want to miss that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, this guy.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah.
But we'll let you know ahead of time so you can get a thread up with some questions for him.
And we will have, and this is one that I may, again, and this is obviously, I don't want another Todd Weber, Rob Houston war, but this might be a cast that my PIC may not be in for because we have to lock this one in, and that is the March Madness preview, which will be that Monday after Selection Sunday. We only have that night because the next day the first four start.
Right.
So it will be the ones from last year, myself, the Silverback there, Matt Rotellis, the Bengal of the Bayou, Andrew Reich will return, and of course, the one holding the cup right now, my brother.
I tried tweaking him on Facebook. I got a response out of him that I was hoping for when PC beat UConn the other night. I purposely put a post up bragging just to get his response to it.
Oh yeah, he's trust me. When that game ended, I was watching it here with Rotellis, and he sent me a text going NIT. So I think he's settling in. But actually, him and I will be at the Big East tournament next Tuesday. Watching both his Huskies and your Friars.
Yeah, I was excited. I'm glad I ended up going to the game. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it, and I said last one, let me try and go. So I did make it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good game. That came back from I think they were like 13 down, and it closed out the dunk for the year in front of the loyal Friar fans with a win.
Yes, no, good win for them, and
Yeah, there are a couple of stupid breaks and dumb plays away from really. They could have won 6 or 7 Big East games this year.
They legitimately could, but you do realize they almost have the same record. I mean, this is I don't know if this is because the other teams are bad or because PC's not as horrible, but they almost have the same record as Villanova and Pitt.
Yeah.
So
no, they weren't bad this year, and they
no, not at all.
There were so many close games that really could have swung them, and we could have been maybe looking at them in the NIT. Honestly, if they pick up some of those stupid games they blew, Villanova they blew, West Virginia they had a chance to beat, South Florida, who's now they're projecting to be in the tournament. They had them beat twice if they wanted to.
Yep.
And there were only a couple games they got run out of the building. Pittsburgh they got blown out, but that was when Pitt was like winless in the conference. You knew they were looking for a win, and St. John's killed them in the opener of the conference. But other than that, I mean, they hung in a lot of games. Even Syracuse at Syracuse, they got killed because they didn't have Council. But at home against Syracuse, they played very well. So
and just to let you know, Council, by the way, is 4th in the country in assists.
Yeah, he was. They were scouting him at DePaul the other night already.
Really?
And he's only a junior, so I think next year is going to be a good year for PC. They got a high recruiting class coming in, and
they do.
You can see the coaching is there. You can see the style that he wants to play is there, and now that he's going to get some legit talent in, I think we'll see them start to grow.
Yeah, and Cotton, is it Bryce? Is that his first name?
Yeah, Bryce
Cotton is I think 3rd in the nation in free throws. I think it's like 90.2%.
What'll be best with him is he's a perfect off the bench scorer. And right now he's having to play 40 minutes a game, which isn't his strength. Once they get this other talent in, they can bring him in as a 6th man off the bench when they need some shooting, and I think that'll be a better role for him and for the team. So, but no one else wants to hear about Friar basketball. So
no, that's right. We're doing it for ourselves. But anyway, so that's really the only at the moment that's the only show that is locked in. Mm-hmm. Is that Monday night, the March Madness preview, and I hope my PIC can. I'm sure he'll pop on when he comes in. Your daughter with her little PC.
No, I mean my first day back at work, so we'll see. Okay. That's the 12th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a week from Monday. Yeah. But we'll talk about the logistics of that. But we do have the round table set, so we do need a 5th guy. Maybe Ty goes to the runner. I don't know how we're going to work that.
Maybe I can come in. Maybe you can write down all the ties, and I'll pop on at the end and run.
Okay, maybe we'll do that. We'll write the ties down and move on. Okay. So what? Obviously, you kind of indoctrinating her into the world, into our ridiculous, into our insanely crazy world. So you were watching Backlash 07 with her today.
We watched SummerSlam 90 the other night. I sent you a little video for a reaction to the. We're still looking for Sapphire.
Yes, and her face looked like pretty much mine is during that scene. Yes. So. But that's good. That's good. You got her. You're getting her.
Yeah, I don't know how long that's going to last. I think once she has any kind of cognitive skills, my wife's going to shut that down quickly. So I'm enjoying it now. But it's been good. Like today, I wanted to get a couple matches in for our review, and she conked out on me. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take advantage and watch the matches. So, but yeah, look forward to that review coming soon on our message board, bigelow34.proboards.com. That'll be Backlash 07. Check out the Wrestling Classic was posted finally, and to our boy Michael Shoots Vincent. We will have that podcast up once we finish 95. So, also want to give a quick plug to the Territory Wars at bigelow34proboards.com as well. Our buddy Derek that runs that. We just had a guy drop out, so there's an open promotion. If you love old school wrestling, you love writing stories. It's not a true role playing or anything like that. This is more of a you just kind of build your own promotion and write it week to week, and it's a lot of fun. So check that out. There's a lot of dedicated writers. If you're interested, hit me up if you have any questions about it. Check that out. So. With that said, I think we're good. It was a good Express edition. We just wanted to get some news and notes out there. We wanted to talk about The Rock and other stuff like that. We will keep you posted on when we'll be back. We're going to try and bang out Survivor Series 95 for you all as well. So, for that said, visit us, please. Bigelow34proboards.com, on Twitter at place number 2B podcast, at thehistoryofwwe.com, courtesy Grant Cawthon, and WrestleChat.net as well.
I think you said WrestleChop.
WrestleChop.net.
WrestleChop.net.
Yes, King James Mendes and WrestleChop.net.
Yes.
Okay, and also on our Facebook page, Place to Be Podcast as well. Hit us up there and join the live chat. We chat all night, every night, during Raw, Smackdown, pay-per-views, you name it, we do it.
That's right.
So, for my PIC, Scott Criscolo, I'm Just Rosero, and damn, it's good to be back, I must say. A lot of fun.
Night, Bambina.
Nah.
You gonna be here for a while, I'm gonna call my crew, you gonna call your crew, we can rendezvous at the bar around 2. Plans to leave, throw the keys to little C's, pull the truck up front and roll up the next blunt so we can steam on the way to the telly, gon' fill my belly. A T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape. Conversate for a few, cause in a few we gon' do what we came to do, ain't that right, boo? Forget the telly, we just go to the crib and watch a movie in the jacuzzi, smoke L's while you do me. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. I love it when you call me Big Papa. To the honeys getting money, playing niggas like dummies. I love it when you call me Big Papa. You got a gun up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby.